Hey, everyone. I'm doing a live and I've not done this before. So just wanting to connect with you all and just put out there this material about my point of view about consciousness and hypnotherapy and why it's such a worthwhile pursuit to explore as a client or to become a practitioner if you're in the wellness field and you like the idea of doing this work. So let's just get started. So if you follow my show, you've seen me interview a bunch of people, and we're often talking about their experience with consciousness and with spirituality. And many of you may not have heard my experience. So I've been a hypnotherapist for a long time now, 12, 13 years. And I love this work and it's incredible. And I think life tends to suck for people a lot right now. And I'm wanting to get this information out here because I want it to suck less for you. It doesn't have to be as hard. And I know easier said than done, but I want to share a perspective with you that may resonate and may be a helpful way of contextualizing life so that you can have a belief structure that works on your behalf and optimizes I've been doing spiritual hypnotherapy for a long time, and what has come through in many of my sessions, and I think people who have worked in this realm will also say that there is a large degree of my clients, not all of them believe this, but the majority of them really do find that when they connect through hypnosis to the spiritual realm, to their soul self, that they actually feel a resonance as this soul self is me. This is a broader me. This is a more omniscient me, if it's you, if you know what I'm talking about. Like there's a kind of an objective observer, omniscient you. And then there's also the you that is having the human experience here on earth. And you're this finite person. And if you look at it, you could kind of think of it in terms of being in a play, a role in a play, and everything about you, your biology, the way that your body is constructed, your eye color, the way you think about things, your idiosyncrasies, your quirks. If you're an athletic person or not so much an athletic person, or if you're like amazingly beautiful or someone who feels like maybe you're like just sort of mid-range, or maybe even someone who feels like they're not as beautiful as other people. Whatever the recipe is that makes you who you are, your soul knows that that is who you came here to be. And what we forget being in the human experience is that we actually wanted to come here. And there are people who believe otherwise. So, but I'm just going to stick with this is my point of view. And so if you resonate with it, cool. If not, I'm not going to try and convince you otherwise. This is just what I've seen through my work. And that your soul had tons of confidence coming into this life. Now, when people connect with their soul has an energy that is of divine love. And before we come into the physical experience in the womb, there is preparation that goes on a soul level for coming into this lifetime. And that preparation has to do with knowing, like when you get ready for a trip, like, you know, the things you got to pack, the things you got to sort of help yourself be mentally, emotionally prepared for once you're going in. Now, it's not across the board that all souls are ready to go into their life experience totally prepared. Some souls are more impulsive than others and are not coming here to have a huge intention. But by and large, over time, the experience of incarnations, of being in a physical incarnation, is something that infinite souls do lots of times. And of course, there are exceptions to the rules, But by and large, your soul has very likely had many, many physical incarnations and is coming here with a clear understanding of what it is that your soul wants to achieve here in this lifetime. Now, why does this matter? This matters because once we start entering into the human experience, and what I've found in my work is that around the second trimester of development in pregnancy is when the consciousness of the developing baby sort of comes online with the human experience, and when the emotional connection with mom starts to really be um, connected to. And in that connection can also be mom's energy. And so when the baby is developing in the womb, it has two very key components. There's the soul energy coming in, and then there's the body. And then what happens is the blending of that over time starts to develop the personality, or just influence the personality, because there's still the soul coming in, there's the biological elements, and all of this mixed together, this recipe, and with the sort of experience that's coming in, has an impact on how the baby is going to see and perceive the world. Now, some souls have done this so many times, they're not being affected by their mom in the pregnancy at all. But many of us, when we're in the pregnancy experience, we are feeling mom's emotions very deeply. And depending on where mom is at in her emotional experience, maybe she's not excited about being pregnant. Maybe she is not having a positive emotional experience with the father. Maybe there's violence, maybe there's substance abuse. Whatever the case, the baby is being sort of inundated by this energy, and unless the soul energy of the baby knows how to protect itself, it's going to start being affected by mom's energy and other energy out in the world. And so through like a womb regression, you can actually ascertain that information about what it is that you're picking up from mom in that space of development there in the womb. And so people are often surprised to find out that their mom's energy has actually been affecting them since the womb, and that maybe their personality of who they are has been so impacted or imprinted by mom's energy that they haven't even really had a chance to get a sense of who they really are without that. And so womb regression can be really powerful for healing that, because if we can go back to the experience through a regression, a client can learn like, oh, this is my energy and that's mom's energy. And when you're able to discern between your energy and your sovereign energy and another person's energy, you can start to have a more boundaried experience in life and have a more sovereign experience in life, which is an amazing way to go. You want to be able to have a sovereign experience so that your information that's flowing through you is something that you start to trust and lean into, because the guidance that's flowing through your soul understanding is the best, most perfect, customized energy for you. Now, I'm not going to be able to talk for a whole lot longer just because I have a client that's coming and I can't see if she is here or not. But I just wanted to, so we're talking about the soul, we're talking about consciousness, but having access to this information is incredibly game changing for people, because once you have access to this information, you start to have a more open interpretation of what it is to be a human here in this earthly realm, that you're not just this human self, you're a much broader self as well. And then you get to also have intention, that you get an opportunity to stop being moved around in life by circumstances and just operating from a place of reactionary thinking, to centering yourself in like, okay, I'm having this human experience as Nora. How do I want to go about doing that? How do I want to live my life? Do I want to live my life in a place of victimhood and wounding because of all of the crappy things that have happened to me in my life? Or do I actually want to let those crappy experiences be worked through so they can become the infrastructure that help me be the strong, amazing person that I can be in the world, right? Like, think about the people that you admire and who are incredible, that have been through just the most incredibly difficult experiences in their life, and they seem to have a way of coming into that experience in a way that's more empowering, so they become empowered through their struggles. And this is, I believe, what it's all about. It's about taking the crazy, textured, topsy-turvy experiences of life and integrating them in a way that gives you rocket fuel to live the life that you really are here to do, and not be distracted by the BS, by the noise and complaints of others who say you should feel this way or you should feel that way. What you know innately, what you have access to, is the information that your soul is intending for you to have. And so, doesn't it make sense that tuning into that would be the most inspiring, most motivating, and connecting energy available? Because everyone else has an opinion through the lens or prism of their own experience. But if you have a connection with who you truly are, you can start to calibrate in a way that feels really aligned with what it is that you're wanting to experience here on the planet. And it also gives you a sense of being able to handle stuff without being knocked off kilter or knocked off track, by the things that maybe historically would have knocked you off your path. And so that's what my work is all about. And I'm so excited to share more of this with you. Um, Thank you for listening. Please subscribe to this, to my experience. I'm going to be sharing more lives, but I'm also going to be doing more interviews. And if you have any questions that you would like me to answer, or just curiosities that you want me to chat about, feel free to share that. I'm an open book, and I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the flip side. Take good care.